over on Facebook as well on Prairie Scraps. So thanks so much for joining in. If this is your first time ever seeing, or if you're watching a replay, put hashtag replay. If this is your first time ever seeing me, go ahead and put, say hello. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. So hopefully you will get over here somehow, some way. I've been kind of going around and around with my thoughts on Facebook getting rid of lives after 30 days. So I want to make sure that whatever content I make, even though, you know, sometimes the products go out, sometimes they run out, but I don't want you to not to lose all of the content just because it's been over 30 days. So 30 days is not enough. I get it if they don't want to save like years and years and years of content, but at this point, I think going forward, I'll be doing reels and short things over on YouTube, but putting the full Monty over here on Facebook. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I said, my name is Dory. I'm here in Idaho, and I just love to craft and make pretty things. Sometimes I take things, you know, surfaces from the store. Sometimes I take surfaces from thrift stores or thrift sales and turn them into something pretty. Or, you know, sometimes we just use what we have on hand. I love to use my stash. If it looks really weird, sounds kind of weird, I am in my little 1953 Airstream. And if you look around on this channel, you'll actually see a tour of my little Airstream before I filled it with crafts. So I cleaned it all out and have since filled it with crafts. It's stacked to the rim. Honest to goodness, most of it is fairly organized. I know where everything is, but, you know, crafting is crafting. So if you're a messy crafter, say hello. If you're not, say me if you are a messy crafter, because I am there with you. Make sure that you go ahead and help me out by sharing this out and saying hello and commenting and subscribing to my channel. And while you're subscribing, go ahead and hit that little bell that's on there. That will give you a notification whenever I go live so that you know I'm here. I do have a little membership going on here, and that's just to help me make more craft supplies. I try to, you know, a couple of times a month, put out a few things a little bit early or extra over there on the members channel, and then I do release them later on. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. And this last weekend, for those of you who don't know, I'm here in Idaho, kind of out in the boonies, and it's like 3 hours to the nearest Hobby Lobby. And this last weekend, it was the end of our spring break, and we decided to just go away for the weekend to Missoula, Montana. So we stopped at Hobby Lobby. So if you were watching, you probably saw a picture of my husband and I and my two girls before we went into Hobby Lobby. So I thought I would share with you what I found for crafting and maybe a little extra ideas. Hello, hello. Is it Wilma? Thank you so much. Oh, hello to Wilma. That is rude. Just move on, please, if you have to be that way. Sorry about that. Hello, Amber. Hope you didn't see that. I think I got it out. Yay. If you feel the need to be rude, just kind of move on. Just pass. Thank you. Try to keep it clean here. Hello, Amber. Good to see you. So Hobby Lobby, my Hobby Lobby stuff. A few things. I think I did fairly well. I stayed about $100, and some of that is Easter things for my grandkids. And also I got, what else did I get? Oh, graduation things. Can you believe? I hope that you're being clean here, or I will have you removed. So thank you very much. So first of all, everything spring, everything Easter was, or marked with the spring shop, were 40% off, which isn't the best they get, but it is, on sale. I kind of try to keep my, Hobby Lobby. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining in. I try to keep my Hobby Lobby items to the things that are on sale, because I don't like the regular prices. Everybody loves a good deal, right? So anyway, I got this 3 set of towels because I thought, I don't know. I had moments where I was like, I don't really need more towels. I got a stack of towels I need to ink, but I thought they were cute. They were kind of in really cute colors, a yellow, a peach, and a teal. And I think they lead to being inked. So that was my one purchase that I was like, maybe it was a little more. Oh, I forgot about this, you guys. I hope this is okay. It was at the bottom of our stuff. But I purchased this drink. Isn't this cool? This drink, what is it called? This was not on sale. It's from the Market Square. It's called a glass tumbler with bamboo lid. And I'm hoping to do some etching on this. I haven't decided. So that might be a long decision just because, you know, it's hard to decide what to do. And I only purchased one because I just wanted to try it out because I figured I haven't done etching in a while and we can use our transfers for etching. So I need to find something to etch. I need to put that there. Hopefully I don't kick it over. I did pick up some fabric sticks for my glue gun, which is exciting because, you know, but I was thinking, Salty Apple, I'm going to have to remove you. Time out if you're going to be naughty. So this is fabric glue, so I'm excited about that. You know, I'm a small business person. I don't make a ton of money doing this, but I do like to do crafts and things. But geez, just keep your rude comments to yourself. Okay, so I did find, oh, I left a pile of stuff by the door. I'm sorry. So I bought these little, like, I'll have to describe them, little hair ties with little stiff bunnies that like stick off of each of them for my granddaughter for Easter because I thought it was so adorable. It has like little things inside of them. So I got that because I figured that would fit into her eggs for the Easter egg hunt because I'm doing the Easter egg hunt at my house for Easter. So I'm excited about that. And then I did get a graduation t-shirt for my daughter. It says class of 2025 and that has a verse on it. And I always buy my kids, because we homeschool, I always buy my kids a t-shirt with their class on it. Sometimes I try to get like class of one or something like that, something funny. But this one said, you know, something about going out. It had a Bible verse on it. So, and she wanted it. So I was like, yes, I will buy it. It will be your graduation t-shirt. I also bought, and I didn't bring these in because they're way too big. For $13, I couldn't believe it. The graduation stuff was not on sale yet, which I imagine they'll wait till after graduation. But I don't want them to be out. They were giant yard signs that say class of 2025. And we are doing an outdoor party at our house. So right here in the yard for Lydia when she graduates in June. It'll be the end of June. And so I purchased those because $13.95. It's a huge decoration. It'll totally work. And of course, stay tuned because I will be doing plenty of graduation decorations right here on my channel. So I'll be doing that. I also visited the embroidery aisle. I'm trying to think what else, if I missed anything else. It seemed like I bought so much stuff at Hobby Lobby, but I think I was just oohing and eyeing everything. So I put my jacket on because it's raining outside. So if you hear dripping, it's because I'm in a metal tin can and it's dripping on my metal tin can. I got this. I only found one of these packages. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fabric in here. 15 by 18 inches. It's embroidery cotton and it's like different colors, like black. Anyway, I've been struggling with just using regular cotton. You could see the stitches through, so you have to use 2 layers, or the embroidery, or for just regular quilting cotton. And they just haven't been turning out really nice. So even though somebody had recommended using just regular quilter's cotton from the fabric store, I went ahead and just got this 6-pack or 5-pack of pieces of embroidery fabric cotton. There's 5 of them, 15 by 18 inches, and it was only $6.99. Also not on sale. So that was, and none of the embroidery stuff is on sale. Oh, I did get one item to add to my resin things. I got a couple of resin things, and I already put those. We were putting those away. So a couple other things I needed. I got this little needle threader. I spend more time like licking my thread and trying to put it in. So I got a needle threader. I'm a little worried about that little piece at the top kind of falling off in my bag, so we'll see how that works out. I also got a couple of different hoops that are better. They have the screwdriver end on the one end, and they have a ridge in them, so you can see the ridge. I really, really wanted the blue color in this one because I really like this blue color, but they didn't have this size. Apparently that's what everybody else wants. There was like 3 different colors, like an off-white, this peach color, and then this kind of blue-green eggshell blue color. Of course, I like the eggshell blue, but there was only a little one. So I got a little one. Most of my, I've been using the hoops that from Chalk Couture that are in a rectangle shape, and I love them. But, and they work great for the 5x7 size, but I feel super limited as far as size, what I can use for my embroidery projects. So that's why I got a couple of new sizes for that. I feel like I could be buying hoops for the rest of my life and still never quite get exactly what I need or want. So, yeah, please just keep it clean. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. I know. I like been collecting them lately. I looked at all of the threads. I couldn't tell what the price was, and I couldn't remember what I needed, even though I had just gone through all my embroidery thread. But I knew I didn't have very many purples, so I picked up one purple thread on that. And as it turns out, Hobby Lobby's thread, DMC thread, was only, I think it's DMC. Yes, DMC. It's only $1/4 a piece, which is cheaper than Walmart. Walmart's is 38 cents a piece. So just an FYI, it's cheaper at Hobby Lobby for the thread if it's regular price. I also purchased a little snips for doing my embroidery because I know I have one that like folds up and you could take in the airplane. I don't know where it is. It's been years since I've seen it. God only knows where it is. But so anyway, I bought scissors so that, because I've been using the full-size sewing scissors for my embroidery projects, carrying around this big scissors. And then last but not least, my daughter has been asking for something like this. She wants to make pendants, but this was all they had with these little micro mini hoops. There's 8 of them in here, and they were only $3. So I was like, what the heck? We'll just try it. It's called a wooden frame oval. It's 1 11/16 of an inch by 2.5 inches. So we figured we could do like a little embroidery with like letters and, you know, little flowers. And it wouldn't take very long to finish it. So it'd be a cute little something we can make and sell. Okay, I also found some things over at Walmart. The first thing I found in their regular department, sometimes if you look at Walmart's section with the art and craft stuff, they mark those things up that you use. Same with hats over at Hobby Lobby, the hats that you use over with the vinyls and stuff. They are just spendy. So anyway, I found these cute hats, and these were only, let's see. I think they were, I want to say $6 a piece in Walmart. So much more readily available. I really like the idea of doing some embroidery with them. So I may be doing some ink and embroidery together. And then this cute pink one. I don't even wear hats. So that's the issue I have with hats. So that I don't wear them. Also, I stocked up on, I looked at glue sticks. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that so much. I looked at glue sticks at Hobby Lobby, and they have their off-brand. And I really like this Gorilla Glue for the glue gun. And I like the long ones. So that's what I picked up because I am out. And then last but not least, I got this cute little pot at Walmart. This was, I think, $7, $6.99. Isn't it cute with the fluted? And of course, you're going to see some Tiffani Thiessen with that pretty soon. All right, so that is, I guess I can leave the hats in here because I will be using the hats in here. Oh, actually, I'm going to be using all of these. I may just put my glass in here and set these aside. That scares me when I hear that. I think it's just the plastic piece. All right, so some glass items to do some things on. And today I wanted to do a project with one of the new Tiffani Thiessen transfers that came out. And speaking of Hobby Lobby, this is a very large tray that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I know that I got it like 70% off. It was one of my first, I think I actually used my own birthday money for this one, and I just haven't known what to do with it. So far, it was regularly $40. It says table decor is the department. It wasn't even, but I just love it because you can just use it the way it is, I think. Maybe I should be taking out, ooh, I don't know if I have any, I don't think I have any screwdrivers in here. You could take out the handles because they are screwed in there with like a Phillips head. But we're not going to be able to do that today because I don't have a screwdriver. So I'm just going to take off this tag because I don't want it to stick to my transfer. And we're going to start out actually cleaning my transfer outside of my transfer. This is from Tiffani Thiessen, and I kind of measured it up before I left on spring break to see if it would fit. It's round. We haven't had many, like, I guess it's been a while. We've had a couple of 4th of July and Thanksgiving, but nothing really super, like, I don't know, modern or whatever for a round piece. But this one fits in here, so we're going to be able to get it in there, even with the handles on. And I'm pretty excited about it. So this one's called Bunch of Blossoms. So the first thing I want to do, though, is get some surface wax on this. You never know. It is a wood surface. Anything wood, go ahead and do some wax it. Why am I digging? I've got it sitting out here. I guess I was like distracted by the fact that I might have. And again, I'm just gonna go for it as far as colors go. We'll just see what we end up with. I'll put you down here so you can see a little bit better. Please ask any questions. If I don't see it, I will go back and answer. Or if you come in later, I do go and keep track of what's going on my channel. So I will answer any questions you might have. I also have all of the information there for the links for my shopping. And I list like my finished goods on my own website, prairiescraps.com. So feel free to support that way by going over there and checking out what we have for sale. And let's see. Yeah, exactly. Stop talking if you feel like you have to, like, be rude, right? I appreciate you guys for kind of watching out for me there. Like I said, it's just a one-man show here, so one-woman show, one crafting show here. So doing my best for whatever I can to make a living. And crafting, I love it. And if I can make a little bit of a living with it, I am even more excited about that. I can kind of feel a little bit of like unevenness. I'm gonna wax. You can wax on, wax off. The more you rub it, the more it kind of brings out. And you want to use surface wax on anything that has wood. I just lost my So that's why I'm using it on this, because I want this to be nice and sealed. And it also does put a coating on it, so you we'll see like the wood grain come out a little bit and seal the paint up too. Because wood is porous, so it can leak. It can, spread the paste a little bit. And it can also leak it. It will kind of put a barrier for the wood. All right, so we're just going to take out this brand new transfer. It is a larger 18-inch by 18-inch transfer. And it's reusable and sticky backed. So that's a little bit about what we are using for this product. And I'm going to start out, actually I need to set this off to the side for a hot minute while I get this ready. I'm going to turn it upside down and peel off the backing. And the reason for that is I want to get this fuzzed on the back. This is the first time we're using it, so usually limited space. Sometimes it's a little challenging. Oh boy, I've got these little like plastic leaves from an ivy all over. So we want to just get it fuzzed the first time we use it. So I'm just using a fuzz cloth here. And sometimes with the fuzz comes little pieces that stick to it as well. So I'm doing my best just to keep that off of there. So today is an exciting day. Actually, last week was a very exciting day. My daughter Lydia, she's 18, and she had passed the behind the wheel test last September, and then has since been trying to pass the written test over and over and over again, and just feeling so discouraged, and not sure what to do. Like every time, like the computer was broken one time, it was awful. Like every time she's gone to take the test, something has been going on in the office. One time the computer was broken, so she had to take the whole written test, which means if it's not on the computer, basically on the computer, you can pass questions till the end. And if you happen to pass enough, you don't have to like do that question. So if you don't know the answer to one, you can just pass it and then come back to it if you need to. But you might not be able to come back to it if you're doing well on the test. But anyway, so I think like one time the headphones weren't working, so she couldn't have the questions read to her. Another time the computer wasn't working, so she had to take the whole written exam. That was crazy. All right, so we are going to put this on here and measure it up and everything. And I kind of want it to look like, you know, the flowers are going one way between the handles, but it really wouldn't matter. This is going to be a very forgiving project. And of course, I'm going to look, it is centered on the transfer, so I can look for straightness and centeredness side to side and top to bottom, and know that I've probably put it pretty close. You could even measure it if you were concerned about being exact on it. I am not as worried about that, as you can see, but I am going to eyeball it really good. I think actually I need to move it to this side a little bit more. And I'm thinking about doing some spring colors on this. Let's see here. Did that I'm looking like here are the handles. Here's the outside of that, and see, it's just a tad bit one way. So I'm trying to get it back over there. And then while moving the whole thing, I am ending up, there we go. I think that's a little better. Let's see. That looks about the same on those corners. Good. Okay, so we're going to do little parts of this at a time. We're not going to just go rushing in. And I can see, like, even where I peeled it up, it has grabbed up some of the white paint even. So I know that I haven't gone too far. You want to make sure all the bubbles are out. I haven't gone too far in waxing it, if I'm still kind of pulling up it. This may look a little bit, what would you say? A little bit, rustic. I guess that's how you would describe it. Okay, so I wanted to mix together, if you haven't looked at our company website, thechalkcouture.com, and then /story, I have the link on my, on the information on right below the video here. They are putting together some, recipes to make different colors out of the chalks that we have. And this one is for making, I want to do a darker, like a mustard color. This is our Bumblebee paste. Mine's a little bit on the thick side, but it's using our paste to make something a little bit different or better or whatever you're looking for. So I wanted to do more of a mustard instead of this brighter yellow, because I know how bright this looks, to make this flower center here, and this one right here, and this in here, and this one here, and this one here, and there's a flower center. So I'm starting with that because I want to like pay attention. And on that website, it said on chalkcouture.com /story, it says 9 parts Bumblebee and 1 part bark. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that would be. 1 part bark. So we're just putting in a little bit of bark to the mix. I'm just using my tool here. I don't know. Oh, I do know what happened to them all. Okay, does that look like 1 to 9? I don't know. We're doing approximates here. Oh, what is that? I have got some hair in the bark. Let's get rid of that. We don't want that. Get that off my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to mix that. And basically what I'm trying to do is just get a little bit darker shade of my mustard here. And both of these are pretty thick. So I am going to kind of come in here and possibly put a little bit of white water into this. I might not use this one to mix. It's just, I'm going to mix in this bark into the yellow, and hopefully we come out with more of a mustard color. Put a little bit of, I'm going to put a little spritz of water into this too because it was thick. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Tell me what you did over the weekend. Did you do any crafting? I posted today on all the places a little video of a quick and easy craft. So it was a Peanuts t-shirt, because for, I don't know, for a long time since I've had high schoolers, boy, probably for like the last 8 years, whenever we go on any kind of trip, it doesn't have to be a long one or an elaborate one. For a family spring break or family trips, I always try to make t-shirts for everybody to match. And the girls wanted the positive vibes with Snoopy on it this year. And so with the Snoopy, the Charlie Brown gang, all on there. So that's what I did. Ooh, I kind of like this color. So hopefully this'll kind of work. Just getting it nice and mixed up with that water, because it's got some, you want it to be like yogurt consistency. This is sort of thick yogurt here. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. Our pastes are water based. So, and once I finish this tray, what I'll do is I will use our gator hide, the Dixie Belle gator hide, to seal it. And you can't get that in right now. It should be coming out soon. I'll let you know, because it's one of my favorite products. I will use that to seal it, because that will make it waterproof, and it's also kind of a water-based product, so it won't be harmful. So you could use this for a charcuterie board for sure. That's looking much better now. Okay, do you see that? Isn't that a pretty color? So pretty. All right, get that off my tool, and we are going to use a mini squeegee to try to get into these areas here. I want to, oh, I got one out here. Hello, pay attention. All right, so I'm just going to squeegee this onto these center points. Ooh, and that one kind of definitely squeezed out some like lighter bumblebee on that. I didn't evenly mix it, but I think it's going to be okay. I really like that color. And I'm going to do this one just so we have a few extra places that we're using this yellow. Oh goodness. I guess I didn't have it very well mixed, because I'm seeing it's kind of showing like, kind of making like a lighter variegated look. So let's take this off here. Got some bark on here. All right, I'm going to peel it to reveal it, because we don't want it to dry in the transfer, or it will start peeling away. And you can even see, like, let me show you that. There's a little spots that it peeled away, and it could be just the surface. I do tend to have issues with these surfaces. Do you see it? But I think it's going to be totally okay. I'm going to go with it. It may be that my paste is a little on the dry side. Let me see where that went. I may even just do this a little bit and wet it down a little with a wipe. Nope, that didn't help. That actually made it a little worse. So I'm just gonna let it be. That kind of looks like an egg yolk, doesn't it? It's like just the right color. So I'm gonna make sure it's down here, over here on this flower, before I start out with this flower. And I might peel to reveal a little bit quicker, because I don't want it to peel up. Oh goodness. I don't know who that is. Must be my husband. That one turned out perfectly. What's the matter? I hear him saying, I don't know what to do. All right, I'm going to do this one and this one too. I'm just kind of doing these little tulip looking ones. They're kind of more of a modern look for flowers, but this is Tiffany's kind of touch on it. Because we're doing this on more of a farmhousey looking board, it's going to look more rustic. What's going on? Oh.
I figured you couldn't get one.
Well, the girls were going to get me one, I think.
Oh, they never said anything to me.
Whoops. Can you message them and just tell them you got both of us?
It's $46 a month extra for her to be on our insurance.
Yikes.
It has to be there.
Yep. She needs insurance.
She needs insurance, so. Okay?
It is a thing.
Yep. But she's done. She's ready
Good.
to go. I just need to get her grades sent in to them.
Okay.
And then I got to print something off and sign it and send it back to them.
Okay.
Okay?
What do you mean print something up? For them.
For another program, so I got 2 discounts for her.
Good.
Okay?
The grade should be good.
Yeah, I would think so. Love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
I'm going to do this one again just to see if I can get it to stay. That one, when I peeled it off, it kind of peeled off really. Nope, that actually made it worse. So it's not sticking. So 2 things. It could be the board. Sometimes I have issues with these boards, or it could be that I got too much wax. I remember I was kind of redoing the wax. So who knows? We're going to be okay with it. And I can always come back later and do another coat of it if I need to. All right. And then last but not least, this one little center right here. I maybe made too much. Too much of this color, but it's pretty. I really like it. It definitely looks like a mustard to me. All right, and you can see I'm leaving part of the transfer down. Oops, that one peeled too. So I kind of think it's this board. I've definitely had this problem with different boards I've done before. So I'm going to just, ooh, don't want that there. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and get this out of the way before we get something stained. Sometimes that happens where it doesn't turn out just perfectly. Sometimes it's just like the board or whatever. It's okay. We'll figure it out. It'll, whoops. I went right off onto this board. It's even like I just wiped away at this and it actually wiped away portion of the white, even though I have put some on there. So that's partially this board. So I'm just leaving that gently for now on there, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to work on this. So I was really thinking about mixing up a color called blush, and it was 3 parts couture coral and 6 parts white and 1 part bark, but I do not have couture coral. So we are going to use a color of the month that I happen to have on hand that is close to what I wanted to mix up. It's not exactly, I wanted a little bit brighter color, and but we're gonna do it. I think it actually kind of goes with that yellow. It's a little more muted. So we're gonna do like one section at a time here, because this is such a big area. We don't want to get too much going at a time. So I'm gonna lay this down, kind of press at it. This big flower is a really big area, and I'm going to peel this back and try to get that. There's a little bit of an expansion there, so I'm going to try to get that down and make sure we have all the bubbles out really good so that we can have a nice clean looking flower, because even though it's a big space, we want it to look good. So I'm still going to use a mini squeegee for this, so you could just wash. If you don't have many mini squeegees, you could just wash yours and reuse it. This is called Dear Diary. It's kind of like, it's almost like I guess it's a flesh tone. I should use it for the Peanuts gang. I've been avoiding coloring in the Peanuts gang's faces because I don't know how to make skin color. This I think would work if it was just like a shade lighter. So maybe adding white, but we're just going to get this flower done as quickly as we can, because like I said, the more it dries, the more it's going to peel up on us. So we don't want it to dry, and we don't want it to leak under. So we're doing all the things, kind of going towards the middle section. There we go. Making sure we're getting all the areas covered, and we don't want to put on too, oops, there, I went outside the lines. These have nice, even though I can't color in the lines, these do have nice big areas that you can squeegee in. So that's, I do like that about this particular transfers. It's got nice, like the green part is where it's not going to show color. And this seems like it really protects, has bigger protection area than a lot of transfers. Sometimes I'm trying to get in the small places and I don't succeed very much. So we're just going around, getting the outside. I like to go from the out, especially on bigger transfers. I like to go from the outside edges in and kind of do it that way so that it's not pushing away at the edges. This has lots of them. This big flower has lots of them. So we'll see how this looks. Hopefully you don't think this is, I don't know, what colors would you use? I want it to be like springy, but I don't want it to be like so out of season right away too. So that's what I was thinking. Using that mustard color would be a good option. And we don't have, I don't know why we don't have mustard. So I'm going to peel this way, nice and slow. Oh, it's peeling, it's peeling, it's peeling. It's okay. Wow, that really peeled up. And that is this board, I'm telling you. Look at that. It's got the white part of the board and everything. So that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't think it looks bad. Doesn't this look like an egg in the middle? It kind of looks like an egg. I think, anyway. Hopefully we've lost all the weird people saying things. And you can just watch in peace now. So that really came, can you see how much that didn't show up there? So we could do one of two things. Like I said, I tried to like recoat this right here, and it didn't work. And so, and I could see that the paste, like the white from the board, has actually come off. So that is more of a board thing. Maybe one thing that I could have done was clear coated the whole entire board, but that would enable, like I'd have to take off the handles for sure to do that. That would be one way to keep that white on there. I like the white, but I don't necessarily like how this is looking all crackly like this. So what I might do is after we're done here is I'm probably going to wash the transfer, and then I'll come back and redo those sections again because, and just lay it down. The cool thing is we can see through this transfer, and I'm going to probably redo those sections so that it gets done properly. Because that is not my favorite. That is not my favorite thing about this particular and that is not the transfer. That is a surface that I got from Hobby Lobby, like I said. So it's unfortunate because it wasn't exactly the, I don't know that you would use this particular board. But I can even feel, as I'm running my squeegee over it, I could feel the unevenness in the board and how, you know, different parts of it just feel weird. So I don't know what they put in some of these boards that they have at Hobby Lobby, but it's annoying when that happens because, as you can see, it's a beautiful transfer. Beautiful transfer. And the board is kind of not helping me out. Coming up on my transfer. So, momentous day, the girls got to drive themselves, or Lydia drove the girls to school today, so that was kind of exciting. I am just gonna, there's like a really, I'm gonna take a brush and dab a little bit of paste on this part right here, because And these are big enough parts. I may even be able to brush it on. So I might try that too. We'll do that here at the end. So stay tuned. It doesn't always turn out exactly how you think it's going to turn out. I can tell you that. Sometimes boo-boos happen, right? It's okay. Everything is fixable. Everything is fixable. And if I really didn't like it, I could totally come back, sand the entire thing, and then paint a new surface on here, and we would be good to go. Okay, so let's get this back on here the way it was. Shift it a little bit in my peeling up and everything, so just want to get it back on there. Okay. I think because of the size of this, it would be a little forgiving as far as, I think this is our last flower right there. I like the fact that there's 3 of these kind of big floppy flowers. I'm not sure. They're clearly not like absolute truth in flowers. So I really like that there's 3 though, because that really, and there's 5 of these little like tulip-like ones. Could have done those in a different color, but I kind of wanted to carry that yellow, that mustard that we made through. See if we can get this without smearing mustard, because I got a little mustard moved into there, so I'm just trying to. But yeah, I could definitely feel like divots in the wood. They use, sometimes in mass production, they just use really cheap kinds of woods for making it. I don't even know if it's really wood. I think it's more painted to look like wood. I need to move it here because this is drying up here. All right, nice and slow. Yep, it's still just peeling away. And we could leave it like that. We could make it kind of rustic. I could even come back with a sandpaper and sort of rub into it and get it completely looking rustic. But I think what I might do is come in here and do a little painting. I think that's what we're gonna do. Because you can see that this is not because I let it dry. This is because it's actually picking up it's actually picking up the board, and it's not only picking up the board, but it's also picking up the wax that I put down. I can see it on there, and not like it's big chunks or anything, but all right, we're gonna put this down here. I might start on this end with this leaf over here and just get that one down really good. And I was gonna do a mix of meadow and, nice thing is these are nice big spaces. I think it's gonna work to actually paint these. I was gonna do a mix of meadow and bark to make kind of more of a darker color, but I think because I'm having to do patchwork, patch it up, I think I'm just gonna use it right from the jar. I am glad I did the diary that way too, so that dear diary. Color of the month. Our color of the month this month, oh, I forgot the name of it, but it is like a navy blue, which we have really never had navy blue. So I'm excited about the color. I can't wait till it comes. It is going to go fast. People are going to, our color of the months are not meant to last the entire month. They are meant to kind of run out. So if you like a color that comes out and just gotta have it, get it right away. This is a good choice. I love this color. It is moss. I don't even know if we carry this anymore. Whoops, I got a lot of paste on that. A lot. That's okay. We can just squeegee it off, put it back in the jar. And I could see in the spots where it's coming up, I'm actually trying very hard to get it into there even, because there's like divots in the wood, in the surface. So, oh well. We will fix it. All right, little by little. Slow, slow, slow. Please don't peel, but it is. It is peeling. Ugh. Bummer. Bummer, bummer. All right, we're going to do this one here. And you notice I'm not like pushing on that other part. I just peeled it back. It'll give it a chance to kind of dry. I'm going to do this one right here. I just don't want to leave it on there too long. All right. And like I said, I think I'm gonna try brushing in the spots that are coming up. Well, we'll see if we can salvage this tray that I thought was a special purchase for my birthday. Like I said, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago that I actually purchased it. I was on a girls trip with my girls, and my birthday gift was a bunch of money to spend at Hobby Lobby. And so I felt like I had to buy some things, and I didn't have an exact plan for this, but I thought it's a beautiful tray. It's very much in my style. So I am going to get it and save it for the right transfer. And then I thought, oh, this is a beautiful transfer to use on it. Here I've been waiting all these years to do this one, and kind of bummed that it's coming apart. So maybe it's that the wood is old. I don't know. Okay, we're going to peel to reveal right away because we don't want it to dry too much. But I'm not sure I'm helping it whatsoever. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. Wow. That is not my paste that's doing that. There's no way that I have 3 different colors of paste that's doing that. Maybe it'll just look, you'll have to let me know what you think. Maybe it looks fine. Maybe you think it looks fine. All right, I'm going to do these 2 leaves over here. Got green on my fingers. Before pressing down, make sure you get all the color off your hands. So anyway, because Lydia's driving, it like gives me a little extra time. But oofta, $46 a month for her to drive. Yikes. I guess it's good that she hasn't had her license all through high school. Poor thing. She's worked really hard. Oops, I think that leaked underneath and made it. Oh, it didn't do too bad. Not too bad. Okay, what do you think? That one looks good. That one doesn't look too bad. If that was the only thing, I'm going to go to this side, get this leaf down, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to see how it will work to do a little bit of brushing, to see if I can brush it and fix it that way first before taking the whole transfer and washing it and trying to do it again. Because I'm afraid that because this wood is the problem, the surface is the problem, I'm afraid that it may not turn out differently the second time with the transfer. So the thing is I could never, ever, ever make this beautiful design on here without having some sort of guide with my brush. I am not a painter. That I am not. So for that, I am super thankful. I think it just went into the yellow part. All right. We got the green off. And I'm just going to leave these out here so that I can definitely have green all over my fingers. All right, so we'll have to do some rehab on this for sure. Ugh, that makes me so upset. All right, so try not to get your transfer kind of folded over like I just did, and then put it back on the backing, and I will take that in and wash it at the sink or in the shower. These bigger ones sometimes work better in the shower. So tell me what you think. I totally can see, like, I'm going to start with this mustard color because that's been sitting out, and use a brush. Get the brush cleaned off here. I might Guess my husband decided he needed a coffee today and didn't think I would get any. Because the girls have the truck. He's like, they can drive as long as, I'm out of water. They can drive as long as you don't need the truck. And I'm like, well, I don't really need the truck. I could sit and craft all day for that, right? I don't need to go and pick them up and drop them off that way, and he doesn't either. So we both got more time out of our day by having an extra driver. Phew, that was such a relief. We're kind of at that point where it was like, geez, just get your license already. Because so we were all, so when she turned around, she wanted me to go with her, and I was like, are you sure you want me to go with you? And she's like, yes, I do. And so I went with, and she was, when she turned around finally, because it was taking so long for her to do it, you sit there right in the room with them. It's nerve-wracking to watch your kids try to take a test like that. So she finally turned around and said, I passed. I was like, I almost didn't believe her because it had taken her so long. I thought for sure she wasn't going to pass. Okay. So I took up a little bit of this mustard color in my brush, and I did get it a little bit on the wet side to kind of sink in there. So that, because it's drier on the edges, and I'm just going to try to paint inside the lines. Now, I have been having a pretty bad case of carpal tunnel here lately, so you might understand that this, and if you have arthritis, you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to like hold a brush and paint in the lines, but this is nice and big, so there's a lot of forgiveness to where I need to paint, I think. For that, I am thankful. You just want to get a nice even coat, I guess. And I think this is going to work. Just trying to get this edge right there. I think that looks good. What do you think? We'll see how it looks when it dries, maybe. I think you're going to be able to tell that it's not, it's painted on there, but maybe that'll give it more character, right? It's crafted, handcrafted. Let it dry a little bit more. It's not completely dry yet. It's getting closer. I want to use this yellow because I mixed it in a dish and it's going to dry up more. It was already kind of on the dry side, as you guys know, if you've been watching. Just to fill this in. I like these kind of big shapes. And doesn't it make, even though they're not like super bright colors, like bright spring colors, doesn't it make you think it's spring, this pattern? I don't know, it's pretty. I also think because Tiffany really likes all the kitchen items, she might enjoy like a kitchen tray, right? Kind of right in the, see a darker piece right here. I don't know what that is. All right, get this little, if you have trouble steadying your hand, a good way to do that is, let's get this more centered here, to like put your pinky down and sort of steady that way. That will help you. Kind of stationary. But like I said, I am no artist, and it's not comfortable for me to be painting. It's not my idea. I love the stencils for this, or this transfers for this reason, that I don't have to do this part. I don't have to paint. But I guess, you know, these are nice big patterns, so it's not much fine lines to it. This one seems really light here. I don't know. Seems like those, I don't know, maybe I watered it down too much to begin with to get the brush going. And so it looks a little bit off. I think I might have fixed it. Now we have the rest. So, I understand if you come back and watch this, late at a later time and you just want to fast forward through this. I totally understand. Everybody's got busy schedules. I appreciate you being here for as much or as little as you want. I love it. Love to hear what you think about my little disaster here, right? Let's do I think we'll do the pink. Even though this is really bad throughout here. Really bad. We'll work on the pink here a little bit. See if we can't correct it. Actually, want to look at that. I guess it just goes. This one I can't even tell, like, some of this edge where it is. I guess I can just make a new one. And again, I'm gonna keep adding water for my brush, and I usually use the lids of the paste to put the water in, and then there it is. And now I've got it too watered down, so that part is not going to be as thick. Kind of want it to look thick, and this will just end up looking a little bit like I think I have a little bit of yellow in it still in the brush. I tried to wash it out, but I don't have a sink in the camper here, so I have to kind of make do with what we have sometimes. If you're trying to do an edge, it's nice to get like a nice thick bead of paint going, and you just sort of come into it, like go to it, like start the bead out from where the actual edge is that you want to paint, and then bring it in. Oops, and then there I went a little nuts there, and that's okay. So I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit because I don't want it to look like I just patched in there with my paintbrush, but this one might look a little bit more like I did some painting, some hand painting on this one. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world, is it? That somebody took the time to hand paint. So this one's going to just take a little bit longer, but like I said, a couple of things that you could do is maybe clear coat it, or the other thing I like to do with the problem is I often buy these pieces like this with this rustic look where the white isn't covering. I buy it like this because I like the look of it. And then I'm always thinking in the back of my mind that, yeah, this project might not work out because that wood is maybe not holding it for a reason. So trying to get a nice smooth edge there. Oofta, holding a brush does flare up carpal tunnel, so I'm starting to lose feeling here. I've been trying to do lots of stretches for my carpal tunnel, but I have been playing piano and bass for orchestra, and that does adds to my pain. Let's just say that. Get some water in here, kind of smooth that out a little bit. That one I just dipped the brush into some water to get that a little smoother. I think it's not turning out too bad. And Amber, I don't know if you're still on here. I could see people on here, so if you'd comment, I don't know if maybe because we had some rude people, I'm not seeing comments now because they will hold back for review all the comments at a certain point. So unfortunately, if you're here and I can't talk to you, I'm sorry. I will go back and answer any questions and respond to all the comments as long as they're nice, clean, fun. And the response I will have for somebody who has been rude on here, I will remove them and block them. So for sure, if YouTube hasn't already found it. Usually YouTube's pretty good about finding it. So I see an uneven little thing here. So I'm just gonna, the other nice thing about going back and painting on this is that it's enabling me to kind of go in and fix some of the edges. Like if it went outside the lines for me, I can kind of fix it. So that's working out for me. There we go. This definitely, like, it almost like peeled up like it was, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. So I'm just going down, dragging my thicker edge here. So the girls were like, can we go for coffee? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I have to let her like get the practice driving. I just, not my truck. Don't wreck my truck. That's all I ask. Right? It's always so hard when they start to drive. To like, it's not that I don't trust her, because she's actually very cautious, but sometimes, you know, just in general life, she tends to be my little, like this morning, she didn't get what I read her the first time for science. And so she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, I can appreciate that you're being honest here, but it's driving me nuts that you're not paying attention while I'm reading something to you. So I had to reread it. She still was not really getting it very well. So I don't know. I just hope that doesn't happen while driving. Like, you have to be attentive while driving. That's all. It's dangerous not to be. A couple of these spots really peeled off. It's looking nice, though. Hi, Catherine. Thank you. That's painful. Yeah. Yeah, the carpal tunnel is not easy. And, like, right now, I can't feel my thumb at all. But, you know, it's all for crafting. It's worth it. I can always take a, you know, if you have carpal tunnel and you just have to do a little bit at a time, that's okay. Thankfully, most of the time, most of my crafting with chalk couture, I don't have to do any, like, holding something like this for long periods of time. It's just, I'm too anxious to, like, leave this. I want to fix it. I want to fix it. I want it to look right. So, it's okay. I would do this. I do the same thing, like, I will suffer through the... Part of the carpal tunnel is my own fault. They wanted to do the surgery like 20 years ago, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I was worried about like not being able to play trumpet or piano with my fingers. So I didn't do the, and I had little kids. So that was the other problem. Like, and actually my left hand was worse than my right, they said. So here I am 25 years later, and I still haven't done it. I'm still pretty hesitant to do the surgery. The surgery, at least at the time, I haven't done the research lately, doesn't have a great success rate either. So that was the other reason. I was like, you know, there's a good chance that it may not even actually fix the carpal tunnel for me by having the surgery. So I opted not. So far, so good. I do find that if I try to play piano too much, I can't do it. I'm doing some, and right now in orchestra, my piano pieces are more right-handed dominant. Yes. Until that happens when I crochet. Oh, yes. Crocheting, I can't do crocheting for that reason. I've been doing embroidery, but I'll just do like a little bit, and then when it starts hurting, it just depends. Some of it is like, I am doing a little bit more practice right now because we're coming up on our band and orchestra concert. So I want to be practiced for those. Speaking of which, I didn't practice all weekend. I sort of just came home last week and put everything away. I did practice trumpet before I, you know, left for the weekend, but you know, it's hard to go away and then come back, and all the laundry needs to be done because we were out of town. I don't know. I don't think this is turning out too bad. I kind of like it. It's pretty. And then, like I said, you know, it's a little uneven. Like you can kind of tell where my brush marks are on this. So I will like come back and do a couple of coats of the Dixie Belle gator hide, and that will make this waterproof and fix it. I'll also get those handles off before I do that so that I don't have to go around the handles at all. This spot right here is something else where that, it's almost like there's just, I don't know if it's the glues. It must be the glues they use to make this wood, because I'm sure it's more like a a particle pressed board than it is actual. So if you could see, I don't know if you could see how I'm doing this, but I painted for a living, like for a while. Well, not for a living, part-time. I worked for some friends and they would take paint jobs. They actually had a like construction business. And so they would do bids for all kinds of things. So anyway, whenever they had like paint jobs come along to bid, they'd be like, "Can we hire you to paint?" Because they hated painting. It was a couple, and then they'd have their kids working. And then sometimes he would bid, and like if it ever needed like a backhoe or something, my husband would run the backhoe for them. And my husband helped out in a lot of the work because they would just sometimes, it was just like a man and a wife. And sometimes he just needed a man, the strength of a man to help him finish complete jobs, because it was just like more like handyman jobs is what he did. Anyway, so this one really large house, I did the whole house. Like they had back in the day, this house had like wallpaper borders, those little border things in all the bathrooms. So my job was to do all of the edging on the painting. I had to paint in. Oh, fun, Catherine. So fun. Awesome. I love it. How was your carpal tunnel? Did that bother it at all, or did you just take breaks and talk and have sipping? Did that help? So anyway, that's how I learned how to do the edging. And this is just like smaller scale edging when you go around the edges. The nice thing is these are nice big shapes, so you don't have to like feel like you're going to go outside the lines too badly. You can always make a correction. But basically what I do is I kind of get a good amount of the paste on my brush, and then I do a couple of swipes like inside of the line. And then when I feel like I have a nice smooth line coming out on one edge, so I go like that outside and then just shove it in out to where I want it to be. And that just, and this is like rough board here, so I'm not getting a very clean edge because of the board again. I'm blaming the board. It really is the board, not me. But sometimes that happens with crafting. I could see here where this isn't very dark. And so I just go, push it out to where it is. And if you run out of paint on your brush, then just go back out again. Grab the paint, and then you go in on the inside like that, and then push out. You're kind of like, they call it making a bead in the paint world. I like watched YouTube videos until I felt comfortable doing it. And then I like started doing it. So that's how I made some extra money as a young mom. I would go out. My husband worked nights as a mechanic because they had a night shop open. They were open in the evenings. And so I could work in the mornings while the kids were home with him. Wasn't ideal because, of course, he needs his sleep too. But he could sleep usually till 9 o'clock. And then he didn't go to work until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I could work from like 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock painting for a little extra money. Pay the bills. Help pay the bills. I really do like consider myself more of a stay-at-home mom, but I've always like had like entrepreneurial things going on, like Chalk Couture. So if you want my information, this helps me, raise my kids. I homeschool my kids in my off time. Not really off time. Isn't this looking great? I think this is really cleaning up nicely. And, it's not perfect, but that's okay. Oops, I just painted the side and edge here. Get that off. Nice job, Dory. Oh, no, not mustard. Okay. I would say mostly you would call this like a, oh, I'm making such a mess over here. You would call this like a decorative piece that you wouldn't use, but because I'm going to use that gator hide on here to seal it up, I think you could totally use it for putting food on. The gator hide is by Dixie Belle. We normally carry it, but because it's, you know, cold season, I think it's, I haven't seen that it's coming out yet, but it will be. And I tell you what, I dumped 3/4 of it over Christmas by accident. I was working on a project and it dumped over and I was like, oh no, like, you know, it's one of those things you don't want to replace. There, I think our pink flowers are about done. I'm just going to go around here. I do see a couple spots where it's really thin. I'm just going to reinforce that again. But I think overall, this has fixed the problem. So anyway, that's, I literally watched YouTube for how to be a painter, and that's how I learned. And then it's just, a lot of it's just like you have to have patience, right? You just take your time and go around the edges a little bit. But in this case, you know, it's not the end of the world. Oh, I do see like here where it's kind of spotted. Is that pretty? It does look like spring, but it's not like in, you know, like pastels really. This Dear Diary is kind of a pastel color, but it's not, I could see polka dots on this. It's just like this wood came up in pieces here. I'll try to just fill it in with some paste a little bit. But anyway, that's kind of how I learned how to paint. Paint in the lines was watching YouTube way back in the day, like watching professional painters. I just looked it up. That was back before Google, really. So I just like had to look it up on YouTube and watch video after video of how to, you know, draw a bead while painting. But I've painted hours, and I still, like when my husband and I do painting around the house, like we just did our living room this last fall, and I still do all the edging, and he does all the big main rolling. Although we got Beth now, our youngest, she was doing her fair share of rolling when we did it. She was enjoying the rolling, I think. She won't admit to it because she doesn't want to have a job. I'm just trying to get the brush. This brush is working great for me. This is one of our brush. We have like a toolkit. It is, I like this brush a lot. This is maybe my favorite one. When I do wall painting, I like the edge, like the angled brush. I know, so many, you could get really off on a tangent watching YouTube, can't you? All right. On to my green. Now this is where I'm glad I didn't make my own olive, but you could use the websites to make olive. You do 7 parts meadow and 3 parts bark. You can make your own meadow. This is what color is this? This is moss. I would say it's pretty close to olive. And I'm glad I used this because it is pre-made and I could shut the jar up and use it. And we're gonna do some painting here with it. I'm gonna get some water in the lid. I always use the lids to do painting with the brushes. I just prefer it. And then the water kind of goes into whatever I'm working on, you know, into the jar. Guess that can all go away. Get it out of my way. All right, and then we're gonna I always get my brush a little wet before I get into the paint. And I don't even know where I'm gonna start. I maybe will start over here and just, this one leaf looks almost perfect. This one way over here at the top. It had just like one little white spot. So I'm gonna just go into this one I do when I'm doing pieces or even on walls, I do try to start on the left side and work my way across so I don't stick my arm into my work my wet paint. I only know this from experience. I could tell you that. This is a little bit tighter here. So here I'm just brushing it in, and then I draw a bead and try to push it into that and do a nice clean edge. And, you know, sometimes we talk too much and it doesn't work out the way we like. But that's okay. This is definitely hand painted today. And here I went over with my pink, so I'm just going to go over it with the green and you won't even know that I did it. You could do that with the transfer too. But like I said, you could wash the transfer and get it off the backside because the white board has come off. I think there's even like a little bit of splinters in what came off. And you could just go in and reuse the transfer all over again, but I'm afraid that some of these spots where the paint came off, it's just going to come off again. So that's why I'm kind of doing this where I'm hand painting it inside the lines. I can clearly see the lines. The green is being a little bit more difficult. I might have to do 2 coats just to get this covered because it looks so yellow. And I do know about myself that I can draw a bead better on one side than the other. So like if I have to get in a tight space, even on a wall, I know that if it's on one side, I can't do it very cleanly. So that's the side I tape. But generally, I don't have to tape when I do painting on walls to do the edging because I'm pretty steady-handed, even with carpal tunnel. So, and you know, stop and start as you need to if you have carpal tunnel or arthritis going on and you want to paint things. Oh, like a steering wheel? I could, but I'm leaving it so that you could see it right side up. Yeah, you could turn it for sure. I just like to leave it so when you turn on the video, it's like, oh yeah, that looks really pretty. You can see it. This is a skinny leaf here. I could turn this for sure to be on one side. But what I was saying is, like, if you're not good at one side, just know which side that is and definitely turn it. But walls, when you paint walls, you can't turn it. Right? Oops, a little dry piece kind of fell off there. And I just try to keep it like clean, like a clean edge on the brush. If you get a brush, you know, they sometimes lose little hairs. Pull the hair out, realign your brush hairs again. That happens. This edge is not going very well. This is just a wood problem. There's like some gouges right there in the middle. All right, let's see if we can. Well, at least I have a little extra time today. I don't have to go do a second video over on Facebook. I think I've decided to just do YouTube long videos and then I'll record. Why am I hearing people? It maybe is my neighbor. Record shorts and things. My YouTube video setup is, my laptop is getting worked on. It's getting a new hard drive, so my neighbor has that. My neighbor happens to work on computers, so I don't know. My husband. Get that kind of wet down a little bit more. It'd be also easier if I would keep this on the right-hand side. Yeah, walls don't move. You know, the weirdest spaces to try to paint an edge on a room are like around the doors. I don't know why, but builders like build these teeny tiny weird edges behind doors in houses. all houses. It doesn't matter what house you're in. There's always like some weird angle behind the door. And if it's too small, it's like too big. Like it's too big. Like it takes up space out of your room, but it doesn't actually like have any worth. Like you can't put any furniture there either. Like around doorways. I don't know. I think it's that men just cannot make spatial planning for round doors. They just know like how much room you need for all the trim around the door, but they don't know how to trim it. I'm gonna even tap off some of this because it gets sometimes if you've got thicker paint like this in my jar, I'm kind of down to the end. It's thicker. So it's just kind of riding up the brush into an uneven angle. This leaf is not perfect. It's just not perfect, but I'm going to count on the fact that maybe nobody will look at it too closely because you're looking at the beautiful flowers. I don't know. So anyway, sometimes lumps of paint kind of ride up the brush, and then you have to try to figure out how to get that cleaned up. I might, actually, this is so thick in here. I think I might put a little squirt of water right in the paste so that I can start softening it up because it's not helping me out here. It's sort of sticking. There we go. That worked out a little better, but I'm thinking it's just more watered down, so it's not even working out so good. It's a fine line between too thick and too thin. And this is the very end of my moss here, so. I keep kind of trying to play with it in the jar and get it just, I know how I want it to look when I put it on. I know how I want it to kind of look on the brush, and that's what I'm shooting for. And I just went unevenly. Not having great luck here. That got too watered down. Too, I don't know if you found this too, as I get older too, I think it's hard to like see it for long periods of times too. I have like progressive glasses, and my eyesight hasn't really changed all that much in the last few years. Just like at the age of 40, I went blind. I never had glasses before, or just reading glasses, like for reading music. And now it's like, what a pain. Old age is a pain. More women. Yeah, we do. I don't know, though. I clean a building that's done by a woman architect here in town, and some of the dumb things she did. I think architects, maybe it just needs to be someone who actually lives in a house, like that needs to plan out houses. Someone who's painted and cleaned. That's who should be the architects, are painters and cleaners, because it seems like everybody else does not have common sense. It's like I clean this really large facility. Like it's got all, it's kind of like a retreat center type of thing. No dishwasher in the kitchen. And it's like more than a story up the stairs. It's like a larger story. It's one set of stairs, but man, it's like probably double. It's probably really 2 stories of stairs that you have to go up. So to like carry all the paper products, like if you were only going to use paper plates and paper spoons and knives and forks and things, it's so ridiculous to like carry it up. I don't know what this architect, like, it's funny because I talked to like even the CEO of the company that I clean for. I'm like, because we were talking about some of the things that needed to be done or finished on the place because it's a new build. And I don't even know if I want to know who the architect is on this place because it makes me so mad every time I clean. I'm going to move. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take your advice and move it a little bit here. It really doesn't have necessarily I mean, the flowers go upright in one way, but this would be really beautiful on a pillow. You could do this with ink. I have just got like a lot of this paste going up the way here. This would be a great transfer. You could use like on pillowcase or on a pillow. I'm struggling getting the right consistency of this paste. Oh, there it went, finally. And where I went kind of watery there, it like spread out. Even though I waxed this board, it's still kind of spreading and absorbing the paint in weird ways. Oops. I literally do not, I don't have any feeling. I don't have any feeling in my fingertips. I'm going to stretch it a little here. Right? I think once the architect made made the design, though, I think it just went to the builders and that was it. I don't think the architect necessarily came back to look at or try to live in it. The architect should be required to live in their own build. That's what I think. Because there's no, I don't even know where you would go to school around here for architecture. I don't know what schools there are in Idaho for architecture. That's a good question. But I do know that wherever this lady went, she apparently is not making dinner. She's never cooked a meal for more than one person because she doesn't know that you need a dishwasher. None of them. Like there's a kind of an industrial kitchen in the downstairs area and there's no dishwasher down there either. Sort of like, I don't know. I don't understand it. And this is like, I don't know, there's like I clean 3 or 4, well, I guess 4 different kitchen areas with no dishwasher. I don't know if it's the same architect or what, or same builders, but I know this one that I'm cleaning was done by an architect. I was surprised it was done by an architect because I'm like, why in the world would you ever build a place with a great big kitchen and with like, I mean, it sleeps. This event center sleeps like it could sleep 24 people. And there's no, and who, when they're on an event, wants to sit and do dishes by hand for that many people? That's the big deal about it, right? This is not looking good, this little, I think I need more water in there. It's just really thick, so it's not working out very well for me, for my painting here. I should maybe, instead of using my brush for, now I cover my brush. Look at that, it's a messy brush here. But I love the shape of this brush, so I'm going to wash it off totally. There we go. Reshape the brush. Go back in. See if I can find a good spot. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what this lady was thinking. And like I said, usually like local things, she's local. Maybe she's, the guy that owns it lives in Seattle, so maybe she's from Seattle. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just connected. This was not a connected leaf here to my knowledge, but I'm going to connect it because I'm not doing very good here at getting edges. There we go. Looks a little bit better, I think. We're getting there. Little persistence. Nothing like hand painting on live TV, right? Or live video to make you feel a little bit self-conscious about your painting. as if I didn't feel conscious about it before. Conscious, self-conscious. I'm doing it this way because I know that this is the way. I should have a little turntable today. I don't normally think I need a turntable for painting, but today I guess I do. I could see why people use turntables when they hand paint things. Now, when I go to paint rooms, speaking of which, my living room got all painted, but I've got we ran out of paint in just the last little bit, like the hallway going to the bedrooms, and I need to finish that before graduation, preferably. That would be nice. I'm starting to think of all the things I need to do before graduation. I started out looking, do you guys do scrapbooks? I was starting out, I've got piles and piles of undone scrapbooks and things. Oh, this has only been 48 minutes. I'm kind of glad. Oh, it's 90 minutes. This has been a long video. I apologize for the longness of it. And if you've stayed along with me, that I really appreciate that. I'm pretty much talking about nothingness now. Maybe it'll get entertaining. Who knows? So I'm just starting to think through, I was like, I better go through all that so I could find all of her pictures. I don't even think I did that for my last one. I think as I get down to just having 2 girls at home, I'm getting better about getting some things done. Maybe not all things, but... Or I've given up. That's the other thing I maybe have done. I've given up on things. Some things I'm just like, I don't need to do that. That doesn't need to be, it's not important in life. That may be a mixture of old age and getting down to just the 4th and 5th child. I don't know. That one I didn't pull into at all. I just kind of plopped my brush right down in the middle and did it. I kind of felt like it was going to work, and it did. Yay. So this looks a little lighter right there, so I keep trying to go over that. See if I can get it not to look so yellow, because if it's not dark enough, it looks yellow. That one I just widened. Also, it looks a little more yellow when it's not dry, so I'm trying to... Did I just put my arm in that? So anyway, I'm starting to think of all the things I need to do for graduation besides, just the regular stuff. I should get, any of her pictures done. I stacks and stacks of 5 kids of photos that haven't been done, and mostly because I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but when you take so many pictures on your phone and don't take it on, I just don't get them printed out anymore. And so therefore, I don't feel like I have all the pictures I need to make my albums. They're somewhere on my phone. And then you switch phones and you're like, now how do I get my pictures, right? Eating dinner soon. Oh, have a good meal. I appreciate you hanging out for the time that you did, and I know this is kind of an extensive, I guess I could have done this in 2 different videos. I never know where to cut it off though. And personally, I just like to look at, watch the whole project. So you can always, if you come back, fast forward to where you want. I'll try to go in and put some channel markings on it for you so that you know where the excitement happens. And then, of course, I will take some pictures and post those in both places. So, because I know, Catherine, you're on Facebook too. So I know that you'll see it there too. But anyway, so yeah, I was thinking about, I've got all these pictures just kind of piled up. So I need to start. I decided that after Christmas, I was going to put all the Christmas cards in scrapbook. I've kind of got a family album started with just Christmas cards, and then it's also got Oops, I got green everywhere. The big pictures that are taken, the kids' pictures, like the larger pictures of the kids that we get taken, you know, to put on the wall. I like, once we're done with those on the wall, I like to put them in an album to preserve them. And those are kind of stacked up too. So I was trying to match up each year's Christmas cards with the big pictures on the wall. And so that's what I started with. But I ran out of tape runner. I got tape runner. That's what I got at Hobby Lobby. I think I got like a whole bunch of it, like 8 packs. I got the big 4-pack, but I went for 2 of them. I got one, and then my husband goes, "Is that enough?" And I'm like, "Probably not." So he ran back and got me another 4-pack of his tape runners. He took my Beth back to that section just to get it for me. So I was going to get 2, but then I was trying to keep my costs down at Hobby Lobby. So I'm like, I'm not going to get 8 packs of tape runner. That's too much at one time. But he thought it was a need, so he went back and got it. Of course, I paid for it. I try to pay for all my craft supplies out of the money I make from this. That's the goal, is just to make my money back. Kind of got this gobbed up right now, so I need to proceed cautiously. So that's always my goal with my business, is to, whatever I sell, to pay for my craft. This is my therapy, if you can't tell. Of course, right now it's causing, oops. I went outside the light. I'm trying to hurry. Hand painting cannot be hurried. That's the one thing I have learned the most. Boy, this wood over here is very bumpy. That is why it peeled off, I'm pretty sure. Because this is not great quality wood. Even though I love this big. It's heavy though, this board. I don't know why. All right, I think we're getting to the point where it's looking like we want it to look. This maybe is not the best side over here. Just because I'm hurrying. Take my time. So anyway, that's what I started, but I asked my husband and my kids to just get out. I asked him, not this last weekend, but 2 weekends ago, I had the weekend free. Could you just take out the scrapbooking supplies so I could get these put away? And my husband took out the entire closet. Everything. His stuff, my stuff, whatever. And I was furious because he like put it all over the living room. So then it wasn't just about my scrapbooking stuff that I was trying to get to disappear and at least put away. It was like, bring out, I don't know, this random box of stuff that we didn't, hadn't decided what to do with. Can you decide on this? Can you decide on this? And then left it. So my living room has been boxes and boxes of stuff. And I'm like, I can't even do, oh my gosh, I forgot about this one over here. I was like, I can't even do, the scrapbooking now because there's too much stuff out here. It's like, I can't find inspiration. It's overwhelming. And I didn't have the tape runner for it, of course. So I just got the tape runner. All this stuff is still everywhere. I'm a little sore at my husband for bringing it all out and just plucking it down. Anything like, I noticed that, he was kind of like, can we get rid of this? Can we get rid of that? Which is fine, but it wasn't his stuff. It was my stuff. I was like, I wasn't ready to make all these decisions about stuff right now. I just was like, I was looking to try to do some scrapbooking and get this one project done. But the one project created like a ton of other things that I have to make decisions on right now because he pulled it all out and put it all over my living room. So I guess, I don't know. I kind of left it the first week thinking he'll come back and put this stuff away, but nope. I think he thinks I'm going to put it away. I think that's what's going on there. I doubt he'll ever watch this. He'll watch some of my videos sometimes, but I don't think he'll watch this. Anyway, that's husbands for you. Gotta love it. He decided to clean the closet the scrapbook stuff was in. It happens to be the same closet that like all the gun stuff is in too. And I noticed the gun stuff didn't come down and get thrown away. Oh, I thought that was my last one for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking that was my last one. That was dumb. I didn't even look over here. How disappointing. Well, the good news is we kind of got rid of all the sassy people on there. It took us a hot minute, didn't it, to get rid of those people. I don't know why people, like, find something better to do with your time. That's what I have to say. Why do people have so much time to just lurk and say weird, gross things? Why is that all they have to do with their time? Sort of is frustrating. Like the rest of us are trying to work, trying to make a living here. Trying to make a living. Meanwhile, we have people that are just going on the internet and stalking and taking over their accounts and making messes out of things, don't we? So dumb. Like, seriously. Find something else to do. If you're here for the crafting, I appreciate you being here and making it through all the weird comments that kind of happen. I apologize for that. I don't know how to get it to stop. It's just been recently that I've been getting the weirdos on here. Maybe I should take it as a compliment, right? I'm famous enough now. Just kidding, I'm not. Not really, just little me here in Idaho, having an outlet, doing a little craft therapy. Nothing excitement going on over here, but if you have followed along and even watched close to the end of this, or even just fast forwarded and hear it, I really do appreciate everybody who comes into here and supports. You could support by checking out my websites and purchasing if you'd like. If you want these supplies, just put blossoms and I will try to get to you or actually the best way on YouTube to get a hold of me is to go ahead and use that text and text me Blossom and I will get you a link for all the supplies for this. I was at Hobby Lobby and I did not see these trays, but maybe I didn't hit it. I tried to hit every single aisle. Do you guys do that? Like try to go see every aisle? See everything in the whole store? This still reminds me of an egg right in the middle there with the yellow, but I did, the other lady I saw that did this did orange in there, and I didn't like the orange with the pink, so. You could do orange. I just wanted to do yellow, but it does kind of look like an egg. Not the pink part, but the inside. Looks a little bit like a, I don't know what is going on here. Kind of chunky paint here. There we go. That worked out better. Some of this I have just widened it. If you go outside the lines and you can't seem to fix it, just widen it and change it a little bit, right? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And it can be a little different than what you or imagine. Obviously, this went way differently than I thought. I thought, oh, this is going to be a nice, quick project. I'll get it done. It's right up there. I thought I would get my quick scrapbooking project done. But anyway, I may come on and do a little blurb on my scrapbook and show you how I put the Christmas letters, because I save all the Christmas letters and put them in to my scrapbooks. Let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. Would you like to see what I'm doing with my scrapbooking projects? Maybe that'll give me some motivation to get it done. And then I need to figure out what in the world to do about all my, I know you could do digital scrapbooks. It's not my favorite. And it's expensive to get them printed up that way, but I need to do something. I keep making it up on one of the websites. Keep making up my scrapbook on one of the websites, and then I'm like, $300 for one book? Oh my gosh, I have like 5 kids. How do you get that done? That's the question. I think I'm sticking my arm. I sure am. Well, it's on my wipe, so it's not so bad, but... All right, I think we're done. This is a little more messy than I would like it to be down here, mostly because I am not having patience to like take the time to do what I need to do to make it straight. Here, I'm using a different tool maybe. My paste is pretty thick, so I'm having struggles getting it to move how I would like it to move, and I'm just running out of patience. That's really what it is. I think I see a way to kind of close it in here. It doesn't look so watered down here. There we go. I did it. I don't even know if that's how it's supposed to be, but it is now. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is if you can't get it to go exactly how you want it. All right, we are going to cut it off here. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a very blessed evening. And make sure you keep on crafting, even if something bad happens or it peels off or it doesn't go the way you want. Crafting is never perfect. Nothing perfect is ever beautiful, or nothing beautiful is ever perfect. If you look at Mother Nature, you can see that for sure. So have a very blessed evening and keep on crafting. Let me show you this real quick before oops, upside down. See, that's why I was keeping it the other way. Here we go. I think we fixed it. What do you guys think? Isn't that beautiful? So beautiful. Thank you so much, and have a very blessed night. Keep crafting.